coming to you from an unknown location, at the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains, bringing you the unknown. Welcome to another spine-tingling episode of Paranormal 411. Your hosts are David Reagan and Jason Scott, and together, they dive headfirst into the mysteries that lurk just beyond our understanding, featuring notable experts ready to share their insights into the world of the strange and unknown. So pull up a chair, pour a cup of something warm, and prepare to be enthralled. Here at Paranormal 411, we're not just a radio show, we're a community of truth seekers, adventurers of the mind, exploring the boundaries of the known and unknown. We invite you to join us, to share your thoughts, your experiences, your questions. Whether you've had your own encounter with the supernatural or you're simply intrigued by the inexplicable, we want to hear from you. So, don't be shy. Drop a comment and let's unravel the mysteries of the universe together. Buckle up as we journey beyond the veil of the ordinary, into the heart of the extraordinary. This is Paranormal 411, where the inexplicable meets reality and imagination takes flight. Stay tuned and remember, in the world of the paranormal, nothing is as it seems.
Whoa, there we are. Welcome to Paranormal 411. I'm Jason.
And I'm David.
And we're here to pump you up.
You up. We got a great show tonight.
We do.
It's going to be fun. We've also going to have a call-in.
Call-in
We're
show.
wanting people to call in. Please call in.
I will put the number up in a few minutes.
And we'll tell those of you that may be on Podbean or somewhere else listening.
Yeah. Podbean's not going to let us use their call-in feature.
Right.
So we're using Call-in Studio.
Mhm.
Have our own phone number.
That's right.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
So like we do have a great show tonight. We're going to have Lori Hines on.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be talking about haunted antiques and attachments.
It's going to be fun.
And she said she had just been talking about this last night to a bunch of people. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll get to that, but you know, David's got to do his little spiel.
That's right. Hey, you know, we're live on Spreaker, Podbean, X, and on paranormal411.org, Facebook, and
Formerly
YouTube.
known as Twitter.
That's right. Formerly known as Twitter. I used to say Twitter, but Jason kept saying it's X now. Hey, we have a book. You can find it on Amazon. Excuse me. Woo. Hey, maybe I'm possessed, huh? You can find it on Amazon. Search for East Tennessee Hauntings and Lore. It's a great little coffee table book. If you're looking to find us, you can do that at paranormal411.org, Paranormal 411 on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And we're also on Saturday nights, 10 p.m. That's right. That's tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on WDJY FM. So if you live in the metro Atlanta area, that's 99.1 FM. And if you're not in the metro Atlanta area, it's okay. You can still listen. You go to WDJYFM.com and listen to us. It's at 10 p.m., right?
Yes.
That's when we start. And then we're also on all of your favorite podcast platforms.
And
join us.
one more.
Yeah, you know,
You didn't write that down.
I know. I meant to ask you earlier. What's it called?
Subspace Radio.
Subspace Radio. I'm going to have to write that one down.
We're on there Mondays, and it's 7 to 9, 2 hours. Yeah. And through the week, they just spot it out through the week. So
yeah, we're on quite a bit.
You can listen at subspaceradio.com.
Yes. Thank you, Jason.
Yes.
What's up, Roger?
Roger's in the house. And tonight, like I said, we're going to be talking with Lori Hines. She is an author, a psychic medium, and has presented workshops at conferences, libraries, and colleges, including the International UFO Festival in Roswell, New Mexico.
That's cool. I want to go there sometime.
Yes. That's one of my, it's on my bucket list. And I'm getting old. I need to start on it at least. So Lori has been a vendor at metaphysical events, selling books and providing spiritual past life readings. Her psychic medium abilities blossomed by writing and have developed over the past 15 years. She is involved in psychic archaeology and works with Tom Foster at the Bullion Plaza Cultural Center in Miami, Arizona. I didn't know Miami was in Arizona. She's also a volunteer in the FindMeGroup, which includes a group of psychic mediums who use their abilities to help locate missing people and solve cold cases. Her mystery novels involve Native American history and culture, archaeology, the paranormal and supernatural, history of the Southwestern U.S., and the spiritual metaphysical. Oh, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Her books include The Ancient Ones. It's first in the series set at Vulture City Ghost Town and the Triangle T Ranch near Tombstone, Arizona. The second one is Caves of Watchers, honorable mention in the 2013 Great Southwest Book Festival. Whispers Among the Ruins, set in the Four Corners. It's a 2016 book, Excellence Award winner in multicultural fiction category. Visions of Time, published through Written Dreams Publishing, is an International Book Award finalist in the New Age category and received as an honorable mention in the 2021 New York Book Festival for the Spiritual Religious category. That's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
You can learn more about Lori, her novels, and her services at lhauthor.wordpress.com or find her on Facebook, Lori Hines, author, intuitive speaker. Man, I did good on that one.
You did.
So we're going to go ahead and bring her on. She's a good friend of ours, and she has a lot to talk about.
Yes, she does.
Yes, and
This
it's
is gonna be
very
a fun-
interesting.
Yes.
Hey, Lori.
Hi, guys. How are you this evening?
We're doing good.
Doing good.
How'd you like that intro I gave you?
That was perfect, Jason.
How about your new book? I didn't see that one on there yet.
No, that's a good question. I have a children's book. I worked with a year for an illustrator, and that illustrator didn't work out, so I had to start anew with another illustrator a couple months ago. So she's doing fantastic, though, and I'm hoping to have this out by maybe April or May. But it will be my first children's book, which involves a group of elementals, including a dragon, a very cool-looking dragon, Native American fairy. She's very beautiful. And then we have Fathom the elf. So some pretty interesting characters. And that features Vulture City Ghost Town. And there's a coyote that, a cute little coyote that walks the characters through and takes them on a tour of the ghost town. So, yep. And I
That's
can let you guys know when that one comes out.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Because that'll be awesome.
Yeah, it talks a lot about the history of the ghost town. So it introduces kids to history.
Also, you're working with the paranormal group too, right?
Yes, it's called AZ Ghost Adventures, and they are actually a fantastic, very professional group. They do a lot of tours of Miami, Globe, kind of the Phoenix area as well. They kind of do all over, and I need to talk to her about coming to Payson because there's a lot of history here and a very interesting location. So they're a fantastic group to work with. I just started kind of partnering with them, um, maybe 2 or 3 times a year. I'll be doing gallery readings, which is what I did last night. So we'll probably be doing just one location in the future. And then people will get a tour of whatever location we're featuring. And then she walks them through how to use the different equipment, and they get to actually do an investigation. And then we switch groups. It's usually about 20 people. She'll take 10 people through the investigation while I do a gallery reading and for the other half. So it worked well last night. People really love to do both. My understanding is some people just came for the gallery reading too. They didn't even participate in the investigation. They just wanted to do the gallery reading. So it was an absolute blast. Everybody either wanted workshops or other gallery readings, and it was a great audience.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah. For y'all that don't know Lori, she would have been with us on camera, but she's having camera difficulties tonight, so we just put her logo up there. But her voice sounds fine.
Thank you.
So when you talk about haunted antiques, um, I know you're doing the archaeology thing too, and do you get a lot of people with this stuff, haunted antiques, that you can tell us about?
Like it can run the gamut. Sometimes, like a lot of times, I used to do past life readings, and that still integrates with some clients. But what's happening now is I'm picking up more and more on deceased relatives, deceased loved ones, and they'll step forward and give me messages for the person. But sometimes, like you guys know a lot about the work I do with the Bullion Plaza Cultural Center in Miami, which is near Globe, Arizona. And that involves he's actually had me do readings of antique guns from the 1800s. And there's a piece of pottery. I didn't get a chance to do a reading on it last night, but there's other Native American artifacts I'll probably be doing readings on in the future. And then he's taken me out to Q Ranch, which is prehistoric Indian ruins, and it's beautiful out there.
Mm,
And so he's taken me out there a couple times, and I've walked through and told him what I picked up on as far as settlers and prehistoric culture, things like that. And there's all kinds of interesting stuff out there. So that's kind of the psychic archaeology part. But when you think about it, they kind of tie together because haunted antiques are kind of like the antiques that he has in his museum. And a lot of them have amazing energy. And one of the guns actually came with an attachment, but it wasn't anything negative. It was an Apache person that had been tied to the gun in, I think it was the last person that was tied to it was this Apache person. So he was telling me a lot about the history of it from his perspective, and he's a very positive energy. And I told Tom, I said, "You have a lot of positive energy attached to things here." He wouldn't, I don't, he's pretty intuitive himself, so I don't think he would be guided to bring something into his museum that didn't. Um, but that's one of the places we did an investigation last night, and they had some pretty extreme activity in every single room that they investigated, including what they called the Native American room.
hmm.
So it was really active last night, and I didn't get to participate because I was too busy doing readings. But yeah, it's an amazing group of investigators, and there's some pretty interesting history throughout Miami and Globe, and there's a lot of haunted locations there.
Wow.
The
Fantastic.
the haunted antiques, what I tell people, and kind of what I was talking about in the workshop last night was it's all about energy, and we've talked to this about this on pretty much a lot of different shows. When you meet somebody you might meet for the first time, and you feel like, okay, I've known this person before. Well, chances are you have, and then you might become really good friends in the present life. To bring back the memories of an actual past life, whether it's from 100 years ago, or 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago. So you can have actually people attached to antiques, or you could have just energy, or an imprint attached to an antique or an older object. It doesn't necessarily have to be a person that's attached to it. So that's what makes it kind of interesting. And you have residual energy or intelligent too. So if I go into an antique store, my guides will be like, or sometimes I'll just pick up on things that have strange energy. I was trying to buy a mask one time. There was this really cool looking African masks at a nice antique store in Miami, and I started to get one, and my guides were like, "You're not going to want to touch that." And I didn't necessarily sense any energy, and I told them, I'm like, "This is really beautiful." They're like, "Lori, walk away," because those are not good. They are nice, they're beautiful, but they're like, you're not going to want to take those home with you. So
Uh,
um, so it's pretty interesting. Yeah, if I do walk through antique stores and stuff, I can usually identify what's good and what's bad. Um,
so people visiting, say, antique stores
mhm,
and or anything like that will say, where your guides were telling you, hey, you don't even want to touch that.
yep.
Was that because you could possibly touch it and then that could, come off that object and attach to you and come home with you?
Yeah, and that's what they're saying, an attachment. And I don't know if it's necessarily that it's evil energy, just I
Mhm.
heard those particular masks is just strong energy.
Right.
It could be overpowering energy that when you take it home, things could happen that you're not expecting, or it could be something that might try to channel you. My good friend Irma and Todd, they have an amazing store here called Serendipity, a unique boutique, and it's at the Swiss Village in Payson. And I want to call them out because just about everybody that walks into that store loves the things that they have in there. They have a lot of interesting antiques, but I don't. Most of what they bring in is not really negative. They have a particular guy that comes in and tries to sell them certain objects that might be related to the prehistoric era or
Right.
maybe not quite as old. But yeah, no, he finds some really interesting things. I think he buys them from one particular guy. And then he will come in and ask me. I'm usually not available, but Irma will show me the object and say, Lori, what are you picking up with this? Because the guy that provided him this antique is saying this is 1,000 years old. And my guides are behind me laughing, going, no, that's 100. They're like, or it's manufactured through a machine. It's not even prehistoric. It's not an old antique. It's new. And they're designing it as an antique because they're trying to charge him more money for it, and then he's gonna try and sell it to Irma or Todd to sell in their store. So they'll come back and ask me, "Is this really old?" And I'll be like, "No." And then she'll be like, "Okay, I'm not gonna buy this." So, so that's really fun working with them on that because they rely on there's another lady that kinda helps out with that too. So but it's interesting because he takes it very seriously. But I tell Irma, I'm like, "I need to tell him to find another supplier because this guy's kind of a jerk. He's lying to this guy about how old these antiques are." So, there's some pretty cool stuff he brings in though. So,
Sounds
That's
interesting.
well,
yeah.
that is interesting. And what I wonder, so just visiting some of these places,
Mhm.
whether it's negative or positive, there's a possibility that you have of actually bringing something home with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah, and
could
like
have a home that
mhm.
was non-active or anything, and then all of a sudden something's going on and you don't know what the heck's going on.
Exactly, and that's a good
Mm.
point, David, because a lot of people could be like, "Well, is there something going on with my house? Is it haunted?" And sometimes a lot of people come out and ask me that, and I'm like, "Okay, I'll get a visual of an antique, and I'll be like, did you bring something home that's old? Because I'm getting it's not necessarily your house or the land you're on. It might be an antique." And a lot of people like, they seem to be able to identify that because they know the timing of it, like, "Okay, I just brought this object home. I know it's older, and now I've started having problems." So most people seem to be able to tie it together.
Mm.
Sometimes it's not necessarily really bad, it's just different energy. It's not like it's poltergeist, so it
Mhm.
can run the gamut. But
Yeah.
at Tom's museum, he has a lot of interesting things happen. Same with a lot of haunted places that are you've got the history of the building of the land itself, and then you have the antiques that are inside it. So museums, oh my God, are one of the top places for that kind of energy. I walk into a museum, and that's where I see a lot of spirits
Mm.
as well, and it could be the stuff, it could be the antiques or just the land. It's the paranormal. I was telling when I was doing gallery readings last night, I told people, "Look, the paranormal is not that simple. It's just, and it's all about energy. And it's not necessarily people that are attached. It could be energy imprinted from that time period."
Wow.
Yeah.
I know David has a story of an attachment with was it a dresser or a desk or what was it from that
That
little
little
girl?
girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a like a dresser that they had bought.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if we've told you this one before, but I feel like we have. Um, where we used to live before, my son was friends with this kid across the street, and so my wife and his mom were, friends, and his sister was having something that was bugging her, and she said that it was yelling and screaming at her and telling her to hurt her sister. And so I asked her to draw me a picture of it. And are you familiar with the black eyed children?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
definitely.
the picture she drew me looked a lot like that, but
Oh,
its mouth
wow.
was, excuse me, man, but its mouth was wide open and it had like rows of like razor sharp teeth, like a shark's
Oh,
almost.
wow.
And she said this is what it looks like, that it would come to her and tell her to hurt her sister all the time. And so I went over there to do an investigation, and Jason was going to come later, like the next day or something. And so I went over there and I got this, I done a pretty good investigation, and I thought I knew pretty much what it was that was causing the problems. And I told it that I was going to get it out of this little girl's house, that I was not going to let it bother this little girl anymore. And so I took that picture home because I had to get ready for work, and to show the picture to Jason. I put the picture on top of our microwave at the time. It was sitting on the counter. Put it on the microwave, went and got dressed, came back, and the picture was gone. It wasn't even there.
Oh, wow.
Started looking for it. My wife's like, I ain't in that thing. And I opened up the cabinets, and it was like up on the second cabinet up above the microwave. For some reason, some reason, it got into the cabinet. So I got it, folded it up, put it in my wallet, took it to work with me, showed Jason, and said, look, we're going to go there tomorrow because neither one of us had work or something. And we're gonna help this little girl out. And when I came home that night, went to bed. Now they just lived right across the street from us. I went to bed, and all the fire alarms in that house was wired in, right? They were electrically wired in. They weren't battery operated. And literally 3 o'clock in the morning, the one right outside of our bedroom started going off. I jumped up out of bed, opened up the bedroom door, walked into the hallway, and as soon as I walked into the hallway, it stopped. And I told it, I said, I know who you are. I know what you're here for. I said, you're not scaring me. I said, I didn't invite you in my house. I told it to get out. And I said, tomorrow I will get rid of you. And, from that point on, we was never able to get a hold of them again to let us come back into their house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. She stopped the mother stopped talking to us and everything.
I'm thinking that's probably the energy of whatever it was. They're saying it might have been a
Yes.
couple different things, but so it was like, what was the size of the picture? What was the picture of?
It was on a piece of notebook paper, and
Oh,
all she drew me was just the face, and
okay.
it
All
looked
right.
like a little girl, solid black eyes, and rows of sharp teeth on the top and the bottom, like a shark's mouth.
Okay. Did they say if they thought it was related to an antique? I'm hearing not. It might have been a couple different things. Had they just bought something or
It
did,
was, I had narrowed it down to a piece of furniture,
okay.
and it was a dresser, and it wasn't really old, but they had bought it at a secondhand store.
Oh, okay.
And and I said, "Have you ever, since this started happening, have you ever had this not in her room?" And they say, "Yeah, just before we moved here, we had it in a storage for a little while before we moved it back in."
Oh,
And I said,
okay.
"Did the activity stop during that time?" And they said, "Yes, it did." As a matter of fact, we just not thought about that, but they said, "Yes, it did."
Oh,
So, and then, I had EMF meters and a lot of other things, and I mean, nothing in that little girl's room was hot, but that you'd get
dresser.
close to that dresser and it was just, I could feel it. Like you'd walk by it and the hair on your back of your head, your neck would just stand up. Um, and so I just knew it was that. I just knew it was. And then when I asked the questions and they said that, that it had not happened when she was there, or when that piece of furniture was moved out of the house. I knew, there's only one thing that I was going to do. I was going to remove it out of the house, and and you know, I was going to take it to my house so then I could mess around with it. But
Crazy.
I was
But
gonna say, yeah. I'm
but
hearing no, that's interesting though, that you were helping because my guys are like, Lori, actually, whoever might have owned that piece of furniture might have actually been possessed and brought that forward. I don't. That's interesting how it showed itself. That's pretty terrifying.
yeah, it was
Um,
really scary for that little girl. It really was, and I think she was only like 7 or 8,
wow.
maybe 9
And
years old.
and it's interesting that it kind of showed itself as a little girl, but a terrifying version of one.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. It thought it was gonna come to my house and scare me, but I just told it to go back where it came from because it didn't bother me any at all. You can set off alarms all night long. You ain't gonna do nothing but make me not sleep. That's it.
See, I'm the opposite. I would have ran out of the house, set it on fire, and buried it. And if it would have been back in the house, I'd have sold the house.
But
Jason would have dropped it off a cliff or
that's it. You
Yeah.
know, that's the difference though. See, I can say that I've dealt with these things since I was a kid. So a lot of this stuff doesn't scare me just because
yeah.
I dealt with it, from the time that I could remember at the age of 5.
Wow.
And so that's when it scared me. It scared me, all get out when I was young. And so but yeah, that's a little something that we was trying to help a little girl with, but and I'm pretty sure that that's what it was. It was a possessed
Mhm.
piece of furniture.
Well, yeah, especially if they removed it and it stopped. So that says a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of crazy, really.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
was
there's hey Sherry.
Sherry's like, "Woo woo! This is one of my favorite guests you have on."
So she says there's the neatest little museum, Sherry does, called the Archive of the Afterlife in West Virginia, filled with haunted objects.
Oh,
I've seen some. We've been to some festivals that they have. I guess it's oddities, is what they call it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And there's some weird stuff.
yeah,
It's very weird.
yeah.
Oh,
We have one here in Tennessee, East Tennessee too. Last time I was somewhere visiting someone, and I had one of my shirts on, and I had a lot of people come up to me talking to me, and they was like, "Hey, don't you know about this place here in East Tennessee?" And I don't remember the name of it now. And I was like, "I've never heard of it, but it's supposedly a haunted museum that they've
yeah.
got." Yeah.
there's
No.
actually a lot of those out there, and they can be interesting. What's the Ripley's? Believe it or not, there's some interesting stuff that can go on in there. I'd love to walk through that museum. There's some really bizarre
What?
oddities in that
We
Yeah.
were
place.
I've heard
you should
about
have said something because
Ripley's
we
being
have a
haunted.
Ripley's, when we took you to Gatlinburg when you come up,
Yeah.
there's a Ripley's museum. Well, it's
Oh,
not
that's
really a
right.
haunted museum, but there's a Ripley's that was just right there. Yeah.
That's right. I think you guys pointed it out, but we were kind of I
Yeah.
don't know if we had a chance to see it because we were talking about driving up further up through the forest and stuff. So
Yep.
that's right. Okay.
Yep. It's crazy. But so you could go to these places and actually catch an attachment then. Or
Absolutely.
it's
Yeah.
possible anyway.
Yeah. I mean, we all it's just simple for a lot of us. Like some people don't take it seriously and might go through and make fun, and then those are the people that end up with the attachments, from what I hear sometimes. Um, but there's all like museums have stuff like that. Ripley's, I've heard, has pretty bizarre oddities that people have experience with. Like Tom's Museum. There's any kind of place with history. If it's got antiques in it, chances are the antiques could be part of the energy that's going on. And it doesn't actually have to have a bad entity or person associated with it could be just the energy of the time period that it's bringing forward. At least that's
Right.
kind of the understanding my spirit guides are always telling me. They're like there doesn't have to be an entity associated with an object. And some people, it's interesting because I've heard so many stories about how some people feel drawn to a particular object when they're in an antique store or a secondhand store. and then they bring it home. It's like the object is calling to them, almost like a haunted house does. And then they bring this thing home and start having all kinds of issues. And I think, well, wouldn't they pick up on that? But it's like I said, it's the object that's calling to them, and it's the house sometimes that calls to people. And then, and then they get tortured when they bring it home or when they buy the house, and it's just. But sometimes you can have good attachments too, I think, or a lot of antiques don't necessarily bring that energy or people forward, so it's safe. But I can usually identify when people tell me what they're looking at, or if they've brought it home. My guides can help me identify if it's good or bad, or if that's the cause for what's going on.
Hmm. That's pretty wild. Did you know they even sell haunted items on eBay?
Yeah, they've got
Oh yeah, I've heard of
some.
that.
I mean, a lot of them is pictures, but they do have some like dolls and stuff too that they say is haunted. I just wonder if they're just saying that or they're really like that.
You
I'm
won't know
hearing
until
s
you
I
buy
am
it.
hearing some are, but yeah, it's like it's amazing, it's kinda scary. Like, they'll buy places that are haunted too for the same kinda reason, and, it could be just to make money, or a lot of people pay good money for that kinda stuff, which is rather terrifying.
Yeah.
And in some cases, I'm sure they're not, but my guides are like, "No, unfortunately, a lot of them are." So,
Hmm.
and it could be somebody's just wanting to get rid of it too, because they know it's haunted and they're dealing with it, and then they just wanna get rid of it. I'm not sure. I wouldn't even look at sites like that. That's just that's not too smart.
No.
That's what
Wow, Sherry's sending me some pictures of some
items.
dolls. Yeah, some stuff. I think it's in that museum that she was talking about. Look at that, Jason.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
She said she couldn't figure out how to post it in the chat. I'm not for sure on
I don't know.
Facebook or YouTube. Oh, just she's on Facebook.
is there one particular doll she sent you, or
Yeah, I don't know. See if you can. I don't know if you can see a picture of the picture.
oh, wow. Let's see if I can't, I was trying to see if I can let me get my screen full
Here,
size here.
here, let's see.
Oh, wow. That's kind of a cool looking doll, actually.
Yeah.
That's something I would actually buy.
Ew.
Um,
Then
that's cool looking.
she's got this stuff too.
Oh, I'm not necessarily picking up anything. I'd have to see a better picture, but I'm not the doll itself. I kind of sense there's some energy. I don't know if it's anything bad. I'm hearing no. Um, but if the archive of the afterlife, if I'm sure there are some things in there that have all kinds of energy. I'm not necessarily picking up anything about that one that's negative, or
Hmm. That's pretty wild.
and like I said, not everything is associated. I mean, everything has energy, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can tell her to send them to the email if she can, and we can try
Yeah.
to get them up there.
She can hear you.
Oh, she can hear me. I forgot. Yeah, if you want to send them to info@paranormal411.org, Sherry, we can try to get the pictures up here on the screen for everybody to see.
Yeah, better than me showing my phone like that. Hey, that's analog in a digital world, baby.
And my guides just brought up a good point. They're like, Lori, let people know that what might be haunted for one person, somebody else can come back and get, and it wouldn't cause any problems. That's interesting.
That
That's
is
a message.
interesting.
That's the message I just got. So is that correct, guys? Okay, they said yes. That is
Wow.
wow. So because like if it's positive energy and it sees somebody come by and it's like, okay, I like this person's vibe. I know this person will take care of me as an object and they're gonna love me in their house, then that kind of thing. But if it's something negative, um, I it could be the same thing. Like some people are attracted to haunted houses. Um, but maybe even if it's negative, it might not cause as many issues for one person as it would for another. So that's interesting. I never thought about it from that perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy to me. I mean, I've never really dealt with anything that's except for that one time with that one little girl, something that I knew it was definitely had something going on with it. Um, but now, you grow up hearing things all the time, houses and like you were saying just a minute ago, houses that call out to you and say, like, this house that me and Michelle bought, uh, you know, this house here, when we come up the driveway, we're like, this is ours.
Yep.
And the feeling was just there. It's ours. And, you know, it's crazy to know that how easy it is to be able to bring something into your home without really knowing, what may be attached to it.
Yeah.
Mm.
And a lot of people just think, okay, I love this doll. It's such a beautiful doll, or I love this African mask or this object. I just want it on my wall. I want to bring it home. They don't necessarily think of the repercussions.
Yeah.
A lot of people just don't believe in that aspect of it. So,
Right. Yeah.
Well, you remember when we went on the ghost tour here, in Loudon
Yes. Oh,
with Lori?
yep.
Yeah, and we went in that antique like shop.
yeah.
Now there, I think there could be maybe the little girl, that they said was there. Could be from an antique,
Could
maybe.
be.
I don't
Could
know.
be. He said that the picture that they described though was of a little girl that had died when that was a house that was sitting
Oh,
there.
okay. Yeah.
Looked just like the pic when she described what she looked like. It looked just like that little girl that died there. I think he said she was what, like she was in her teens, wasn't she? 13, 14, something like that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It's funny though, because we've been on that a couple of times and I didn't really feel anything weird or strange when I went in there.
They say it's more toward the bathroom
Right.
down that
Mm.
some aisle, but you know, I've heard some people have really seen something in there. They've talked about it, but
Yeah.
that's
That's
pretty wild.
that's kind of a cool looking store from what I remember, but I thought I saw one or two spirits, but I didn't sense anything really bad from what I remember. I didn't We weren't in there too long to be able to pick up on anything about
Right.
any of the objects that were in there. We were only in there like 5 minutes, I think, so.
Yeah. Well, here in a little bit, we're going to take some calls and hopefully some people are going to be able to um, call in and tell us about some of their objects.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. So, do you have any like thing that you could tell people like be careful when you buy, these kinds of objects that are used or things like that?
No, that's a good question. I think it's just a matter of, using your intuition. Like you hear that saying, women's intuition. Okay, that's not true. The testament with you guys. You guys have amazing intuition. A lot of men do. So for anybody, you kind of just because people a lot of times tell me they ignore that, and then I'm like, yeah, and then now you're suffering. So, and
Yeah.
they're like, I wish I'd listened to my intuition. So, even though you're really attracted to it, that's the problem. Just people are really attracted to something. I was like, oh, I really want to take this home. And with me, it's clothes. I love clothes and shoes. Like whether I can afford it or not, I'll frickin' charge it. I really want to take this home. So it's kind of along the same lines with antiques. People fall in love with stuff. And like I said, the object could be calling to them. So they just that kind of overrides any other common sense. But really listen, take kind of note of what kind of aura that antique store has. Sometimes if you walk into an antique store, the store itself or the owner might not have, there might be kind of a dark thing going on when you walk into a store. So, and my guides are back here confirming that. So just listen to that when you walk in. That doesn't mean you can't go in and look at stuff. But if you sense something like that, whether it's the store itself, the owner, or the object, just ask, seriously, just stand there and ask yourself, not necessarily out loud, is this something I should be bringing home?
Right.
And listen to what you hear, because trust me, you're going to hear one of two things, yes or no. And you know what that voice in your head's going to be? It's going to be your angels or spirit guides telling you whether it's safe or not. And my guides are back here going, "Good Lori, that's the best way to put it." And that can be hard to trust, like I said, when you really want to bring something home, but you really have to ask yourself that. Most antiques, I think, are pretty safe. I've walked into a number of antique stores and haven't felt anything bad about most of the objects in there. But when there is, I'll usually see a certain light around it, or my guides will be like, "Lori, see that right there?" And I'll be like, "Yeah," and they're like, "That's a haunted object." So, and they'll usually say if it's good or bad. Just because it's haunted doesn't mean it's necessarily in a bad way. A haunting could be in a good way. You could have really good things in your house as well, and that's not bad. So, and Sherry, it looks like she's got a question through Facebook. She's like, "How do you feel about buying used mirrors?" Oh my God, Sherry, that's a whole show in itself. Because we all know that a lot of people believe mirrors can be portals to the other side, and they can bring both bad and good things. Um, so my guides are back here saying, no, that's definitely something you want to be careful with. I don't know if she's looking. I keep getting a picture of a really cool oval mirror. I don't know if there's one she's thinking about or whatever, but there's a place in Payson called, well, I don't want to, never mind, I don't want to name it, but it's a really haunted, and no, it's a pretty cool location. It's one of the most haunted locations here. It's a very interesting place, and both a lot of good spirits, but there's some very interesting negative ones as well. And that woman supposedly has a lot of mirrors in one particular room, I believe, from what I've heard from other people that know her well. And my guides are like, there's things that come in and out of there. And so I've heard all kinds of different, some it's probably fine. Again, just use your intuition. Because I'm hearing you can buy used mirrors. And Sherry, I know you have really good intuition. I haven't met you in person, but I just know you do. You're an amazing woman. So she's really cool. So I know she would know if that was the case. But yes, Sherry, I'm sure some are safe. I know you've got good intuition. So like I said, everybody that's listening, just ask yourself if you want it, but you're not sure about it, ask internally or ask out loud, is this something that's safe to take home? And it's going to be yes or no. And that goes with mirrors too, just like any other antique. Um, so no, you're welcome. There's a lot of really cool antique mirrors out there too. I love the oval ones.
Yeah.
When she said antique mirrors, I did get a vision. I don't know why, but it's round. It was oval and it had gold like leaf.
Inlay around it.
Yes, it's crazy.
Oh,
It came into my head for some reason. I don't know why.
there's some cool antique mirrors, and some could be portals. A lot of people think, and I've heard recently that if you face one mirror against another, that's really bad. You don't want mirrors in your bedroom. I have a mirror in my bedroom. I don't have issues, but so it depends. Yeah, a
Okay.
lot of people are pretty superstitious, and for some
No,
people, I have a friend who their daughter has issues with mirrors sometimes, but she just covers it up. So
David's trying to tell us how many mirrors he's
We've
got,
got
but
two mirrors in my
they're on the
bedroom.
ceiling. It's nothing like
okay,
he.
I don't want to get into
Uh,
that.
my wife's jewelry box that hangs on the wall's got a mirror, and then we've
Oh.
got one on a desk that's got a mirror on it.
We got one mirror.
Actually,
Well, we
it's
got two. The headboard has a mirror.
who's talking now? No.
The dogs bark at themselves or the dog.
Yeah, that's
And my
funny.
guides are saying that they're like, Lord, because they're like here laughing. They're like, most of the time it's not, but they're like, Lori, it depends on the energy of the place. If you've got mirrors facing each other in a bad place, apparently that's a setup for disaster. Like
Hmm.
this restaurant in Payson that I was kind of talking about. Because I think that's what I heard for some friends that some of them were facing each other. So it's the energy again of the room and the history, that kind of thing. I guess it can be a recipe for disaster if it's in the wrong location.
Wow, because you know my mirrors do face each other in that bedroom, and that's where I feel like somebody sits down on the bed. It's crazy. No, maybe I need
Oh, really?
to switch that around.
Hmm. And why is it that having two mirrors facing each other is supposed to be bad?
I think it's something about maybe possibly opening a portal, or
Mm.
I can't remember what they said. I think it was in the past week or two, and I can't remember where it came from. I don't because I don't know if I've ever had that in any of my houses. I usually have a dresser. I'm in a rental now, and it's smaller than my house in Phoenix was, so I don't have any mirrors facing each other. I don't think I ever have. But I think they're kind of back here saying it can be opening a portal. I think that was part of it.
Hmm.
Or if because they are associated with portals, and if you have a portal that's related to one mirror and a portal related to another, I'm kind of getting a visual of clash of energy, and I'm getting a confirmation of that. So that could be part of it.
Hmm.
That's like an energy, they're clashing energy if it's in a negative location. Jason, I don't think that's what's going on with you. I got a really quick no.
Yeah, this is modern furniture, so the mirrors they're not old.
Well, then
Right.
I think like some people I think believe I don't know if they have to be antique though for that to happen. And I'm getting no on that. So um I think it was just the concept of two mirrors facing each other. And I can't remember where I heard it. If it was on TV or an article I read or something. I think it was show on TV. So but I don't think that's the case with you. Jason, how often do you deal with that?
Um, just some maybe once a month I'll feel like I'm somebody sitting on the bed. I mean, I could feel the bed depress,
Mm.
when I'm laying on it.
Wow.
Does your wife feel that or
Well, no.
so you're the special one that likes you? I'm picturing a little girl too. I don't know why. I'm kind of seeing a little girl associated with that.
It's weird.
Nothing really negative. You don't sense anything negative, do you?
No,
Okay.
nothing in the house seems to be negative, but there's some weird things the shadows that I see and
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Okay.
my kids. I hope my daughter calls in about her little
Doll.
episode she had with a
Yeah.
doll.
Doll experience. Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
but I don't think it's the house. I think it's the land, maybe,
Yeah.
because the house is 2009. So,
Pretty new.
yeah.
Yeah. My house is 1984.
84.
84.
Well, I kind of talked to both of you guys. You guys have a lot of interesting stuff. David, oh my God, you got interesting stuff going on at your house too. Both of you guys do, but I don't just sense anything really bad.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, Tennessee's a very interesting place. And then your friend who owns that one restaurant, the amazing pizza place, Legends and Lore, he was telling me
Yeah.
he sees lights near here around his place, just like you were seeing lights too.
Yeah.
And then you had some, what I told you, I don't know if what I told you when I first talked to you the very first time years ago about Bigfoot. I'm like, I was getting a visual of Bigfoot being on your porch when you said you heard heavy steps. You've literally got those in your backyard. So both of you guys have some very interesting history and stuff going on, but nothing really bad.
Yeah.
Jason, I had already told you I did a reading for you and told you that a lot of it was pretty positive.
Yeah, I think we talked about the tree in the backyard that on the and it was you thought it was might have been a fairy tree thing. You seen a lot of fairies or something.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And I think
Right.
you guys saw some on the inside. So I think your wife mentioned something about one on the inside or something.
Hmm. It's crazy.
Sherry said, she's like she said, and it's an Appalachian superstition about covering mirrors when someone dies so their spirits won't be trapped. That's interesting. There's so many different perspectives to it too.
Yeah.
But then, like, as far as mirrors facing each other, that's a really good call out, Sherry, because I'd heard that before. Not, I don't think it's just about Appalachian superstition too, but as far as them facing each other, I think my guides are saying some of it could be like the energy connection if between the two, if they really do have portals.
They do on the show I watch, Stargate. You can go to another dimension.
Right.
You can go to another dimension through this mirror. Pretty
You better
crazy.
know what kind of dimension you're walking into, because
Right.
Yeah. Might get in trouble.
So, have you ever owned anything that you thought was haunted or
um,
yes?
I'm trying to think if I did. It was before I became a medium. I don't think so because my guides scream at me. They're like behind me going, "Don't touch that." Because I do like antiques. I actually have more of an appreciation now than I used to, especially like dolls. There's some pretty cool looking, beautiful dolls out there. But I will ask them, I'm like, "Is this safe to take home?" And they're like, "Yes." So, um, but and so I know. So that's why it's nice to have that connection to the other side. But even if you don't, you can build your intuition. You just have to trust. Again, you don't have to talk directly to your guides to be able to look at something and ask, and then you'll get an answer. So you'll just get a feeling. If you get a creepy feeling, then walk the heck away from it. So I'm just
Yeah,
like some people you want to walk away from that aren't good people. So it's kind of the same thing
Right.
with antiques.
Yeah.
I know there's one investigator that I used to watch on TV that has his own haunted museum.
Mm.
And he's got a lot of haunted stuff. I mean, he even buys haunted houses.
Mhm.
You
Oh,
remember
wow.
who I'm talking about?
Mhm.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
He's on the dark side, I think.
He gets possessed a lot.
Oh yeah, he gets possessed every show.
But every show he gets
But he
possessed.
does own a lot of haunted
He
things.
does. Yeah.
Hmm.
He even owns
Man.
the what was we Robert? I th- I think
Robert the doll?
yeah, I think he bought that.
Did he?
Oh.
Showman.
Yeah.
I mean, if you know how to take care of like Zach Bagans, we all know has stuff like that. He's got his own museum.
That's
But
who we
he
was
like, a
talking
lot of people put them okay, maybe I shouldn't have called
about.
out his name, but no, it's the
Okay.
truth. I mean, it's like I'm not talking bad about the guy. He's actually
Right.
pretty intelligent, but a lot of people know how to take care of them. There's another guy I'm thinking of, and I'm blanking on his name. He has in his basement, I believe, a lot of haunted things. But if you take care of them the right way, you have like a lot of people keep them in cases or boxes so they can't be
Mhm.
touched and that kind of thing. Then they might cleanse them, that kind of thing too. So if you know how to take care of them, that's one thing. Um, versus somebody who's going into an antique store and just starts grabbing things and they don't know what the heck. They don't
Right.
know any of the history about it, and and then they get it home and have all kinds of stuff happen. So
Before we go to break, you're gonna throw the phone number up on the bottom,
Okay. Yeah.
and we're gonna throw the phone number up, the call in phone number on the bottom. Um, so then that way everybody can see it. Um,
If you do have a haunted object, or if you just want to speak with Lori,
yeah,
call in.
yeah. You think you have something haunted?
She might could give you a short reading or something.
Yep. And if you're not on Facebook or YouTube or X, then the phone number is 865 800 3696. And I'll say that again. It's 865 800 3696. And when you do call in, you will be able to hear the show in the background. So you're not going to miss the show. And then when we click you in, you'll kind of know because you'll be live. You won't be hearing the show anymore
Yeah.
in the background. So just to let you know.
So
Technology.
yeah. Are you working on any new things, Lori, besides the paranormal team and the children's book?
well, I work full time, but I have other children's books written, but
Mhm.
my goal is to find a good children's publisher. Hopefully, I mean, Written Dreams is really good, but yeah, I might look for another one that can find maybe more of a traditional to see if they can house all the books. Written Dreams, she's really nice though. She's a really amazing editor, and she's got a this illustrator is really good. So I might go with a couple different publishers, but I haven't been writing. I work on missing persons cases. I've got another one to work on that just came in, I think, yesterday. And that can average 3 or 4 hours at a time just because I work through Google Earth. I have a crystal ball I might work through, do automatic writing. So there's different ways that really help me kind of come up with visuals or messages of what's going on with the cold case. Or sometimes the person could still be alive too. There was a recent case I worked on where this particular I'm not going to give location or anything, but I was hearing he was alive. He just didn't want to be found. And that's happened a number of times. So, I don't blame people sometimes for not wanting to be found. with the way the world is going and things like that. People just get
Right.
overwhelmed, but then they reappear again, and that's kind of what I was hearing for this particular guy. But I'm not just busy with the missing persons and investigations. So different projects, psychic archaeology stuff. So no, it's all been going good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Um, we're still waiting for more stuff to happen here. But I think everything's going good, and we'll get it. We'll get it. This WDJYFM.com is an awesome thing that we're getting to do right now. So
Yeah.
we're taking it as we
Oh,
get it.
we got 2 conventions and festivals this year too, though. We're going to be at the Townsend Bigfoot Festival, set up and
Oh,
doing live interviews.
Yes, they want us to do live interviews while we're there,
that's a
That's
great idea.
and
May the
they're
4th.
actually not. We're not paying to be there. They're actually giving us a booth to be there.
See, that's when you know you've reached the big time right there.
So,
Yeah, and we're going to be again at the Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Conference.
Yes.
It's going to be great too.
yeah,
Oh,
that's some
wow.
good people so far that they've got for it. So
Yes.
yeah, it's nice. Things coming down the pike. We'll see them.
So
No,
I guess
absolutely.
we're going to take a break here, about 6 minutes.
Yep.
And when we come back, Lori, we'll talk some more about these haunted antiques, and maybe some people will call in.
Yes.
Even if
Yes.
they just have questions about what's going on in their house rather than antiques, we can do that too.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
Or if you can't, and Sherry just sent me the pictures of the dolls.
Oh,
So I'm going to try to put them up too, so you can look at those.
okay.
But we'll be back
Right after this.
right after I find it. This quick break. Where
Wrong
my
one.
brand? Yeah,
Brand.
there
There
we
you
are.
go.
So
I told you technology.
technology. Thank you guys for listening. We'll be back right after this.
What if the world we know is merely a fraction of reality? What if there are forces, entities, and phenomena that exist just beyond our comprehension in the shadows of the unknown? Welcome to Paranormal 411, your gateway to the unexplained and the downright chilling. Imagine, if you will, a quiet, sleepy town tucked away from the hustle and bustle of the city. The locals tell tales of a house atop a hill where strange lights flicker and eerie sounds echo in the dead of night. Some say it's haunted, others claim it's a portal to another realm. Whatever the truth, one thing is certain: those who venture there are never quite the same. Or picture this: a clear, starry night in the heart of the desert. Suddenly a blinding flash cuts across the sky, a craft of unknown origin moving at impossible speeds. It hovers, then vanishes, leaving only questions and a sense of awe. Could it be visitors from another world, or perhaps a secret government project? These stories, these encounters with the unknown, are what we love here at Paranormal 411. Our mission? To explore the unexplored, to question the unquestioned, and to shine a light into the darkest corners of the paranormal. We've journeyed through haunted houses and UFO sightings, and into the mysteries of cryptids and psychic phenomena, and pondered the existence of other dimensions. And yet, there is so much more to discover. Paranormal 411 is your guide to the unexplained and the extraordinary. Here we talk about the mysteries that lurk in the shadows of our world, from haunted houses and UFO sightings to cryptids and psychic phenomena. We love to question, to explore, and to understand the unknown. There's a world of mystery out there just waiting to be discovered. So why not join us on this journey into the unknown? Subscribe to our YouTube channel and become a part of the Paranormal 411 community. Together, we can uncover the secrets that the universe holds. Welcome to Paranormal 411. Your journey into the unknown starts here. Join us.
In the heart of Madisonville, Tennessee, lies a pizzeria like no other. Step through the door of Legends and Lore Pizzeria and be transported to a realm where paranormal and cryptid encounters, along with mouth-watering pizza, go hand in hand. Meet Eddie and his crew, who serve up slices of the supernatural along with the best pies in town. With the walls adorned with eerie artifacts, indulge in piping hot slices that melt in your mouth and tease your taste buds. And it's not just the locals who love the incredible pizza. Legends and Lore has been selected as the best pizza joint in all of Monroe County. As lovers of everything pizza and the paranormal, the owners have mastered the art of crafting unforgettable combinations that will leave you wanting more. To stay connected with this mystical eatery, follow Legends and Lore Pizzeria on Facebook, where tales of their latest creations and upcoming specials will be shared. Make sure to browse their custom menu, featuring legendary pizzas like the Chupacabra Ranch and the Exorcist. So, whether you have an appetite for the supernatural or simply seek the best pizza in town, Legends and Lore is the place to be. Come for the unforgettable flavors, stay for the captivating stories, and find yourself in a world where legends and pizza collide.
Get ready to rock with the electrifying sound of Catalyst, a band that's sure to leave you wanting more. With their powerful lyrics and killer riffs, Catalyst is a great sound in the world of rock music. You can listen and find Catalyst on Bandcamp, or go to the link at paranormal411.org and click on their banner.
All
right.
right. Hey man, that song is awesome.
That's awesome.
I didn't realize
Catalyst is awesome.
didn't realize it had
Bleepy
curse
words
word
in there.
it, but
Bleepy words.
you know, it's not that bad.
No,
So sorry if it offended anybody, but that song is awesome.
it's awesome. Hey, we've got a caller.
We do have a caller. Let's bring Lori back on.
Yep.
Hey Lori, you still there?
I'm here.
We have a caller for you. Abigail.
Awesome. Oh, hi, Abigail.
Hold on a second. Let me pull her in here. Let's see. Hello, Abigail.
Abigail. Hey. So you got something you want to talk to Lori about?
Yeah. In my bedroom, there is a stove on my bed, and it was facing towards my closet door. Okay. And when I went to turn around and close my door, it was facing towards me. And I was freaked out that I was shaking so bad. And I ran in the living room and told Mama.
Oh, wow. Is your dad giving you some really good drugs? That sounds cool. Oh, sweetie,
It's not
yeah,
in the food.
oh, yeah, no, I remember your dad telling me about that. No, so my spirit guides are telling me, this beautiful little girl on the phone, she's absolutely adorable. No, so I'm hearing there was an attachment, Abby, but it was nothing bad. And I asked if it's something that's been happening repeatedly, and they said no. So I don't know. There was some kind of I'm getting another little girl, maybe about your size, that might have had that doll, and they're kind of smiling. So it's definitely nothing bad. I think she was just being a little bit playful, maybe trying to get your attention. Has that happened again, or was it just the one time?
It was just that one time.
Okay. Do you still have the doll?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Did you hide her in the closet, or is she still is she still in your bedroom, or?
Yeah, she's still in my bedroom in my closet.
Oh, you put it in
Oh,
the closet.
Yeah.
oh. She's like,
Oh,
yeah.
is that how you clean your room? Throw everything in the closet?
That's how a lot of kids do that. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You might want you maybe you can try bringing her out. Yeah, that's kind of freaky though when that happens. It's like, what the heck is going on? But I think if it was that haunted, you probably would still hear or see stuff with it. I think there is a little girl attached to it, like I said about your age. So I think it's
Yeah.
okay. Maybe try bringing her out again and see.
Yeah. Try to bring her out. All right. Thank you, Abigail, for your comments and calling in. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See, that's what I like about this show. It's kid friendly,
Yes.
and we don't try to scare anybody, right?
No.
We're just trying to get to the truth.
Just trying to figure it out. If it could be figured out. Oh, these are some cool pictures that she sent you.
Yeah, I'm trying to get them hooked up for Lori here to show her.
So, Jason, where did y'all buy that doll?
I have no idea. I didn't even see the doll. I've not seen it. I've not looked at it. I don't know. I just
So-
heard about it.
So when you go home, you need to
I'm
send
not
me a
getting it
picture.
in the closet. I've got to go to sleep.
No, you need to go in there
Or
and take a picture for me.
No.
guys, I thought Jason, I thought your wife said that it had been gifted from another relative or something. I thought that's what
No,
she said.
that's a different doll.
Oh, okay. All right.
That is one that's also in the closet that and
That's
it's
the
an
thing.
antique. It is real old.
Oh, wow.
And you know, it, I've seen its eyes move a little bit.
Okay, Jason, I'm going to ask a question because I'm getting something weird here. So was that doll was obviously with you guys when the other one was brought in, correct?
I would say so. Yeah, we've had that one for
Okay. I'm
2 years,
wondering if that one was messing with the other one because maybe it was jealous the other one was brought in.
maybe.
I'm hearing my guys like Lori, that's definitely possible.
Hmm.
I'll get pictures
Wow, that's
of
interesting.
them and I'll send it, put it up on the website. But this one doll, they're in the closets where they need to stay for right now till I can figure this out.
If they're in there together, I'm not sure. No, nothing is happening, obviously, but that's kind of what I just got. I'm like, that's maybe it's the older, really antique doll that doesn't like the newer one that came in, and
Yeah.
that's weird.
That's crazy.
David, I'm gonna work on this while you.
Yeah, he's getting some pictures done. So, anybody else want to call in? See, look, it's not scary. A kid could do it. You could call in too. If you have anything. But until then, Lori, with stuff like that, um, can something that was just bought at the store pretty new and you bring it home, could something like that have an attachment to it?
I
do
got a
they
really quick
purchase
no, I
it
heard
or
really no, that's a really good question because yeah, just because it's an antique. I mean, antiques can be fun, and my guides they're back here saying, yeah, yes, absolutely. Again, it's all about energy, 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 energy. Like just like two people might connect or not connect well, objects can do the same thing. It could be an imprint, there could be something intelligent associated with it. So, because people have new homes and they have hauntings in new homes. And a lot of times that's because of land, or there could be something with the house itself. I don't know. But absolutely, yeah, something newer. You could buy, there's chances you could buy something new from the store, and for some reason there might be something that it maybe there's a haunting in the store where you're buying it from and something attaches to it. I usually don't hear that too often, but it's definitely possible. I mean, you guys know anything related to the paranormal is possible.
yes, absolutely. You know, there's something that I've been getting into a lot here lately, and you could set intentions, and sometimes you could
Mhm.
inadvertently set intentions, right?
Mhm.
Um, and like so, when you're cooking, sometimes it seems like the food is just awesome and awesomely great, but it's intentions when the person was sitting there cooking it, they had good thoughts in their head and everything. It just seems like this food was just the best food you've ever had in your life. Um, could that be the same with, say, there's a process in a doll or in a whatever a vehicle, right? We'll go there too. But someone was having a terrible, crappy day, and they put those terrible intentions into that object, and then you purchase this object. It could be brand new. Now, could that also affect you?
Yeah, even be like as you were just putting that sentence together, my guides were like, "Yes, just listen to what he's saying and say yes." David, that's an excellent point. That's not something most people even think of, and that's why I love you guys. And at the gallery readings, when I do readings for people, I always pick up on new stuff like that too. And so it's amazing what happens on the other side. And absolutely, they're saying yes.
Okay.
Like anger, disappointment, frustration, especially people that have those feelings all the time.
Yes.
Absolutely, yeah. Or the environment they're in is really bad. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Again, it's the whole energy thing. Yeah, that's a really good question.
Yeah. Because when you get down to it, and especially when you start getting into the more into the metaphysical and stuff like that, you start realizing, everything is energy, and
Mm.
and when you create things, whether it's cooking, again, cooking food or whatever, you impart some of your energy while creating those things into those things. And that's what made me think of, that the possibility of that question.
I'm really glad you brought that's excellent. I'm glad you brought that up. And it's just like intent with people that get frustrated with their lives and say, okay, my business is really sucky. It's been bad. Like a lot of people are having problems with their businesses right now.
Mhm.
And they focus on the negative and how, like, we all do that though. God knows I'm guilty of that. So, and it's hard. It's really hard. But yeah, if you keep saying, okay, my business is bad and this happens, I've heard this from a lot of people. And okay, my business is poor, and you keep asking that person, okay, yeah, my its business is not good, and okay, so that puts out to the universe that you want it kind of is telling the universe that you want your business to be bad or you want your life to suck. So, but it's hard because life does suck sometimes. Life is just not perfect, and it's not. You get tired of your life, and you think, okay, I'm ready to move to the next level. Why isn't the universe helping me here?
Mhm.
And so we've had these conversations, and I've had these conversations with pretty much every friend I have. So, and it's hard, but then I have friends who who have turned their lives around by just focusing on the positive and saying, well,
Yes.
I'm rich, not necessarily I'm rich and famous, but I have money, I have a perfect life, I'm living the dream, and then
Yes.
their life starts to turn around. I hear that just as often.
Yes.
So yeah, it does work both ways.
Sherry has a really good question on here too. She says, could it just be the people also and not the house itself or the land itself? Could it actually be the people?
What does she mean? Like the people in the house
Mm.
that might have an attachment or just
Yeah,
the energy of the people?
that either or, I think that could cause. you know, things to happen as far as,
Oh, yeah, yeah. I've heard
more
stories like
smooth.
that. Yeah, absolutely. I think I've talked to clients where, I think I've had clients mention situations like that too. Absolutely. You have somebody that's really sick. Sometimes people can get sick from living in a haunted house too, or absolutely, yeah, somebody's really sick, or even just has a constant bad attitude. Some people just feel like the universe is out to get them. I felt like that at times, but there's serious illnesses people could be dealing with, and it that impacts their energy as well. Obviously, that's hard to deal with a chronic illness when you're suffering all the time. So, yeah, if you're in a house and you're dealing with that, absolutely, that could you could have a positive environment in a house, and that could turn it just the opposite. Um, if there's the least bit of negative energy, whether there is or there isn't, absolutely, yeah. No, that's a really good question.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then, Randy talked about the land, and that's something that we have discussed quite a few times. The land itself
Hmm.
is, how old is it? I mean, centuries, millions of years, billions of years. There ain't no telling what all's happened anywhere
No, exactly.
and what has been imparted there.
Or within the house itself, you could have non-disclosure where somebody might have passed away in the house, and the realtor's not necessarily going to tell you. Some states actually have rules like that. I can't
Yeah.
remember which
I know
ones, but
California is one.
that's
California,
right. Okay.
you have to disclose in California.
Okay. Well, you
Um,
should have to anywhere, but
yes, yes, I think so.
so yeah.
Uh,
But yeah. Hmm.
could what I was talking about also be come over to a new house? So you have a slave driver boss. He's just bad attitude guy. All of his guys that work for him are always in a bad mood because of this guy, and then they build your house.
Yeah.
Could they impart that negative energy into that building of the house while they're building it?
Okay. So yeah. So it goes along the same thing as what we were talking about. Yeah, they're saying absolutely.
Yeah.
And they're saying it happens. It's not. I don't think it's as often as people realize, but
Right.
oh, okay, so no, they're saying yes, it is. Sorry guys. They're like, yeah, no good, no problems. So like, actually, apparently it does. Um, Now, is that the reason for every haunted house out there? No.
Right.
Um, you have residual. You have intelligent energy. You have a combination in a lot of places, especially
Mm.
museums and the places we investigated last night. So it's you could have that in a house. And no, yeah, anything is up for grabs when it comes to the paranormal. Um, so those are excellent questions though, because yeah, if it's about energy, then it might not have anything to do with haunting. It's about the energy of the people that built the house or the car or whatever. Yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
That's interesting because a lot of people are like, "Oh, my house is brand new," or
Yep.
it's not that old, or I'm the first owner, or I'm only the second or third owner, and no one's died in this house, but I have some strange goings ons, or I have places in my house that just don't feel right, and it
Yeah.
could just be that residual energy that's been left.
You know,
Yeah, I'm glad you guys brought that up. That's really I would never have thought about it like that, but my guides are like, apparently you were you guys were meant to bring that up. I think they wanted me to know that because I never thought about it like that. So I learned just as much from you guys sometimes. So
also, I think, you know, these spirits sometimes just float around, and
mhm.
maybe they just came into this house
Mhm.
to feel
Yep.
safe or something, or to haunt it, you know. I think they still have a conscience, and if you if you say something
Mhm.
like, I don't know, it's just, I think that some of these spirits just can find houses, antiques,
Mhm.
anything to be a part of their energy.
That's a good point too, Jason, because there's what I call pass-throughs, and my guides will say, like, if somebody asks me a question about something that's happened, and I will literally get a visual of a spirit just literally passing through the house and going to the next one next door. So it's kinda like a super highway for spirits sometimes, or a
Mhm.
particular spirit. My sister called me one time, I think it was a year or 2 ago, and she's like, "I had this experience." Her TV, it was a night, she was sleeping, and her TV came on, and it was off, and then she started hearing voices on her patio, like, talking, like, really clearly, except there was, like, 3 or 4 people having a party, and I think she said she actually saw people out there, or maybe she just heard them, and my guides are like, "Just tell her it's okay. These people just passed in a tragic manner in another state." It wasn't even in Arizona. Somehow they found her through her energy. I'm not sure. And they're like, "These people just passed." And so I think they're just kind of freaking out or something. I think it was a fire from what they said.
Hmm.
Something very tragic had just happened. And they're like, "It's a pass through." And she even said, she's like, "No, I never experienced that again." And I told her, I said, "Don't worry. Yeah, they were feeling lost. Something instantaneous happened to them, then they died just like that." I said, "I'm hearing you shouldn't have an issue with this again," and she didn't. But, it's freaky when something like that happens, and that does happen a lot to people too. If I get a client and they say, "I had this experience, but I hadn't had it since," then that's usually the case. I'll be like, "You have nothing to worry about. It was just something that just passed. It was feeling lost and just trying to find its way and figure out what was going on." And I said, "You just kinda got caught in the middle of that energy."
Hmm.
Do you want to show that photo?
Yeah, here's one of the photos that
Share it.
Sherry had, and I'll put it solo here so you can see it good.
Oh, wow. It's like a nun doll or something. What
That's
is
what it
that?
looks like.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Looks creepy.
Okay, because 'cause they're like, "Yeah, that's not good." So, yeah, they're like, "Oh, that's not good." I mean, it looks normal to me. A lot of dolls to a lot of people just don't like dolls. They look creepy, but, um, I mean, it's kinda cool looking actually, but they're saying, "No, that's not good." So this is the one that's in the archive of the afterlife?
Yeah,
Okay.
the one that's in that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're trying to show me the energy around it, and I don't think it's good.
All right, let me see if I can get another one up here.
They're saying it should be locked up, or I don't know if it is locked up, but they're saying it should be locked up.
Wow.
Let's see here. Um,
You gonna change the photo?
yeah, I'm gonna try to change it, but I got to figure it out first.
I'm hearing this
Oh,
picture that you guys just showed me is similar to the Robert the doll situation.
oh, really?
Yeah, that it has the ability to do shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's see if I can get another one up here. We're doing something new tonight, so here we go. Yeah.
Look at that. There's another one.
Yeah, there's
See that one?
another one. That looks like a pictures and handcuff.
Yeah.
Who's it say it is?
Elmer, David Elmer, David Elmer Sons. Um, can't see the
Yeah.
name of the county. It was executed.
Sumner, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
executed.
I'm getting some kinda energy floating around in there by the shackles or whatever.
Hmm.
I can
That's
kinda
great.
see that in the photo. That's weird. Executed April 3rd, '59. Yeah, that's usually not good when you get those kinda objects. And then I'm getting, like, what like, is this the same photo or 2 different people? Is it no, it looks
I
like the
think
same
it's two
guy.
different. Does it?
Is it?
Let's see.
I can't read the one on it looks like the same guy, but, I think the guy himself might actually be imprinted into the photos or the shackles or whatever those are next to it.
Sherry says it's people who were executed at the West Virginia
Okay,
penitentiary.
so they're 2 separate?
Yeah.
Okay, alright, I couldn't tell, okay. So there's something about the top one. I think he might actually be attached to is he attached to the shackles guys or they're saying or to something. So I'm getting the impression his actual spirit might be there in the archive.
David Bruner. That's his name.
Mhm.
And the other one's Harry Burnett.
Okay. I don't think they're saying they're like, I don't think he's necessarily has anything to do with the archive or anything. It's the top one, his energy I'm picking up on that might be at the archive.
All right, let's see if I can bring another one up. That must be the same one.
Ooh, that looks like Annabelle.
It does. So
It's definitely a Raggedy Ann doll. I think you have to go out of it and get a new one.
Yeah. Here we go.
Jason's figuring this out.
Share.
Look at that. That looks
Oh,
like
wow. I got the shivers looking at that one. And that's in the archive. Oh, the skull below it is lovely too. That's really good.
Oh wow. It's got a
Oh my
gem in
god.
its forehead.
Oh my god. I'm hearing the doll. Is the doll okay? Okay, but I don't know about the skull. Um,
I
there
wonder if
might be
it's
a
real.
long story behind the skull. Guys, is the doll okay? Okay, I'm hearing yes for the doll. It is kind of a little bit creepy, but I was drawn to the skull as soon as you showed me the photo.
Hmm.
I don't know if it's even a real skull. Um, with a gem in its head. I don't know what the heck's in. Are those gems attached to it? It's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, it looks like it has a gem on its forehead. Let me see if I can.
I don't know if it doesn't look real because it looks
Yeah.
like it's got gems
Yeah.
for eyes.
Yeah, I don't think it's real because it looks like the mouth or the jaw part and all that's all one piece.
Yeah, it's not the right color or anything too.
Yeah.
So, but there's something about more like the skull than the doll.
Hmm.
I think there might be an actual attachment to the skull.
There's another one that you had on there though, Jason, or that I thought I saw her send.
Okay, let me try to find it.
It was. I thought it was a Bible.
Bible.
I thought it said
Oh,
666 Bible or something like that. Is that the one that says GGG? No.
Let's see.
There it is, right
There
there.
it is. Yeah.
666 Bible. That's crazy. It's even got a cross on it. Yeah,
what's the deal with that? Why does it say 666 on it?
I don't
Maybe
know.
because problems they were having with it. I don't know. Well,
Maybe
yeah, which explains why the cross is on it to try and it's in a box. It's probably locked. Okay,
And
that's really
when you
weird.
see it, it says Bible there, but it's misspelled,
I
or
think
the
it's
L's
I
upside down.
it's like an
it's a
image.
reflection
It's
of
a
the
Oh,
mirror
glass.
image of what's above, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
it's a reflection of the glass. Maybe Sherry could tell us a little bit about that because that's cool.
There's gotta be some kind of bad energy about it for it to say
And she said we
666.
were told not to touch it. That's what she said.
Oh, yeah, well, I could tell yeah, if
Mm,
it's
mm.
okay, yeah, I would think it'd be locked up, but I don't it looks like you can kinda lift it, but yeah, I wouldn't even touch the glass that it's in. Um, wow, that's
I'd like
nuts.
to know she said she didn't quite remember the story on it.
Oh, no,
That
that's
was
okay.
one.
Well, there's probably a lot of objects in there to look at, but,
Yeah.
yeah, there's, like, some kinda dark energy that's literally floating above it there, obviously. So, the fact that they put a cross on top of it, I don't know if I'm getting images of it being thrown, the Bible itself being thrown and stuff.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not getting a lot behind it, but no, yeah, that's why it's I mean, you don't need me to tell you it's bad because it's in a case and if people are being told not to touch it, so I don't
Yeah.
know a lot of history behind it, but yeah, yeah, it's definitely not good. It's not something that they just faked and put in there to say it was bad. It's definitely there for a reason.
Hmm. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you usually know Bibles, you usually don't. Um,
Yeah,
I'm
you
getting
wouldn't
a
think that
visual of
that
a
would be a home.
priest carrying, obviously a priest carrying. I mean, some people just have Bibles in their house anyway, but I'm getting a visual of a priest or a religious person kind of holding it or working with it. So I don't know if something happened during that process. I'm kind of almost want to say that they might have been helping, trying to help somebody, and then something kind of channeled it. I don't know. There's some kind of story behind it. I'm getting like a priest or something
Hmm.
kind of carrying it, and then it's
There's
almost like some kind of energy came in, and just like sometimes they might try to channel the priest or hurt harm the priest that's in their cleansing. It's kind of like something got into the Bible or was associated with it. It's really weird. That's kind of different.
Yeah. So I got one more here. I'll show. It looks like a piece of furniture.
looks like a mirror.
Oh, maybe.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I heard portal with this one.
Hmm. It's got some scratches on it. Looks like.
Yeah. Looks like it's a lot of scratches, I think, unless it's just the light reflecting. Yeah, it's pretty scratched up.
That's definitely old.
It is. Even the
With the
teapot up there.
with the candles like sitting around it or something. It looks like maybe it was some used in a ritual or something. Maybe.
Unless they just set it up like that. But no, yeah, that's like there's some kind of energy between the teapot and this. I don't know if they just displayed it like that because the black, it just kind of, there's some kind of energy between the teapot and the mirror almost. But yeah, the mirror, I heard portal when you guys showed me the picture of the mirror. So, and I'm starting to see faces in it too.
Well, that's what Sherry said. Sherry says things supposedly appear in it.
Yeah, I'm getting like a creepy face in the middle of it towards the top it looks like where a lot of the scratches are at the top in the middle. I'm kind of getting faces in there. Like somebody with dark hair, kind of young, like maybe a little demonic. It's kind of like, but it's like almost like different things are kind of trying to show themselves there. So maybe that kind of ties into the portal thing that they said portal as soon as you showed me the picture.
Yeah, I got cold chills. Ooh.
Yeah, that does not have good energy.
Wow,
All right.
that's pretty cool. Thank you,
Thanks, Sherry,
Sherry.
for those pictures.
Yeah, thanks, Sherry. Those are awesome.
Yeah, that was cool.
Hmm.
Man,
And
Well,
that
you,
makes me wonder, like the objects that she showed, are they in that archive of the afterlife because people had issues with them, or just were they donated to the museum for people that passed away? I'm sure it's probably different scenarios for each one. I was just kind of wondering about that because I'd never heard of the archive of the afterlife, so I might have to look that up.
that's a great name.
it is, isn't
Hmm.
it? I'd like to know how these places vet when they get things in before they display them. You know, if
Mm,
they get a psychic in, or if they get somebody to come in, or they themselves witness stuff from it, or something. You know, before they put it out and say it is, they say it is.
Yeah.
yeah, handle with caution is all I can say. Even gloves might not be safe enough for some of that stuff. You don't know what you're dealing with.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, that's some crazy stuff right there. And do you think that a lot of that is, you know, attachments, actually true attachments to some of that?
Yeah, yeah, especially with that mirror, I was getting like at least two or three faces I was seeing in the mirror, which is kind of unusual considering how scratched it is. But I get visuals of stuff like that. The Bible, I was seeing kind of a priest holding on. It's different scenarios. It could be that the people passed and had this in their home, and then it's been handed off. So, or it could be people that were having issues with it that had it in their house, and then so I'm wondering if this archive of the afterlife is actually essentially trying to help people by taking objects that they're having issues with. But again, it comes down to the question of, do you know how to handle these objects? Do you have somebody that can come in and bless them? And in some cases, that doesn't even help. That can make things worse. So um, it's interesting how many places are out there that handle antiques like that. Sherry's like, I don't think I would go near that room Warren's had where Annabelle was kept. Just-
Yeah, I've heard
yeah.
that room where Annabelle was kept in, I mean, they had all kinds of haunted things and stuff in there, but
Yeah, you remember, I don't know if it was Annabelle 2, but the like the little tent thing where they had the little circus thing, it's like I forget what it was, but a carousel.
yeah,
They had that in there too.
yeah.
That was weird. Thank you.
Somebody said, somebody behind me, yeah, the carousel wasn't good. So I don't know what the deal with that was.
I think it was over in Britain or England or
Oh,
somewhere where they had to go with that one.
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah, they have they had to close that down for a little while. I don't know if they've opened it back up or not.
Sherry says that's what he said. People called him with
Oh,
stuff, and the guy collected a lot of
oh,
funerary objects.
okay.
Huh. Yeah, that would be pretty wild. We ought to
I
start
wouldn't.
collecting that stuff, David.
Yes.
Keep it down here in the vault in
Yeah.
your house.
I'll be all right with that. I don't know if my wife
Michelle,
would.
I was gonna say, I
Yeah.
don't think
My
Michelle
wife
would.
might say, I don't think so, but I would be okay with it'd be enjoyment for me, but I don't live here very often because I'm gone for a week at a time.
Oh Lord, yeah, she'd be moved out.
She would be.
Yeah, yeah.
That kind of stuff has always intrigued me. So I would
Everything has its
definitely,
own story, just like people in houses do. Objects have their own stories too. And
yes.
what I'm picking up on is like a quick 10-second reading, but it's pretty fascinating to find out what goes on with these objects. Why the heck is a Bible, for gosh sake, in a case?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
is the
weird.
Bible itself possessed with something? I'm getting something is tied to it. So that's really strange. That's some messed up stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting is what it is for sure. As Sherry says I could get her a new chicken for every haunted object I bring in.
Hey, haunted chicken stuff.
There you go.
There you
Bring
go.
her in some haunted chicken coop.
You know those little like bowls that have the chicken top on it?
Hmm.
Now, I've seen some of them that are pretty old.
Yeah.
Mm.
My wife is going to start collecting uranium glass.
She needs to get in contact with Michelle's mom because she sells it
Does
at her
she?
shop.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Yep.
So
You shine a black light on it and it glows.
yeah, I've ordered 2 black light
Ah.
flashlights
Mm.
we're going to go around these thrift stores, see if we can find some stuff.
Gotcha.
Maybe one of them will be haunted.
Yeah. Then you'll be giving it to me.
And then we'll do a exorcism on it and call Lori up and see what she thinks. And
Yeah.
hey, Lori,
I won't be involved in that stuff.
I want you to know that I am I have got my bachelor's degree in
Not a physical.
Metaphysical.
metaphysic humanistic sciences, and I'm working on my doctorate right now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, from IMHS. It's out there somewhere. We're close to you, but
Oh, okay.
so I'm doing pretty good. My
It's gonna be Dr.
Dr.
Scott.
Scott.
Oh, wow. That's pretty interesting. How
Yeah,
long of a
um,
program was that?
it's just as long as you want it, really. But it will probably take me. I've been working on it for about a year and a half, maybe.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I probably got about another year and a half.
Oh, that sounds pretty interesting.
It is interesting. I mean, I've learned a lot of stuff, not just for this show, but for myself and for my family.
So what
That
classes, what topics does it cover?
intuition, just
Kind of like psychic development and
yes, it's
okay.
got
Okay.
paranormal investigations,
Oh, okay.
cryptid investigations, and
Oh,
I'll also, after I finish this master's degree that I'm working on right now, I will be an ordained minister.
oh, wow.
So it's pretty interesting. So it not just helps the show, but it helps me as a
Oh,
human
yeah.
being
Mhm.
because metaphysics is all humanity. I mean,
Yep.
that's what it's all
Yeah.
about, really.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of that.
Oh, yeah, you should be. Forgot you had been working on it for that long.
Yep. David's going to do it too. Dr. Ray. Oh,
Yeah,
well,
I do want to do it sometime.
yeah. It's pretty good. I mean, it's helped me a lot just to know some of the stuff and how to make my life better.
Right.
Oh, that's a good point. And it's like you have so many interesting guests on your show too. So it adds to a lot of great, it's probably a totally different way of thinking for you. And it adds to the conversation with all your different guests as well and perspective. And so that's a good idea.
Yeah. So, you got anything else, David? You want to talk with Lori?
I think we've come almost to the end of the show.
Yeah. Lori, you want to
What do you got coming up, Lori?
yeah.
You got anything
Let's
coming
talk
up?
about Lori.
Yeah, let's talk about Lori for a minute.
Let's see. Well, I just had gallery readings last night. Probably another 2 to 3 months. We'll probably do another one that's in combination with an investigation, but that's well, he still have to figure out where that's going to be, what haunted location. But like I said, still working on the children's book as far as the illustrations. It's written, so just getting those done and trying to get that out in the next 3 or 4 months. Continuing to work on missing persons cases. In the spring, Tom's arranging a trip to another place near Q Ranch, to additional Indian ruins and land near that area. There's going to be an Apache guy that'll probably be going out with us who's going to show us around on the land because it's going to be reservation. So I think he has to take us out there. And then we have Rita coming with us as well from AZ Ghost Adventures. And so we're all going to be out there, maybe doing some filming, seeing what we can pick up on, picking up on the history. He's going to show us the ruins and talk about some of the actual history. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I think I'll be doing more gallery readings and workshops and things like that as well too. More and more people are getting more interested in this. And when I do gallery readings, as you guys know, like a lot of mediums don't talk about the stuff that I talk about. They just say, okay, well, I'm picking up on this deceased relative. I'm picking up on this object associated with that. With me, everyone's like, you're on the fringe because I talk about Bigfoot. I picture, we have all kinds of spirit guides with us, and they're not all human. You could have Bigfoot as a spirit guide, for gosh sake. You could have an otherworldly being as a spirit guide. And I pick up on stuff like that all the time. And that's not something most mediums will touch. So if people think I'm crazy, that's fine. But what's really fascinating is that when I'm doing these gallery readings, people sit there and they keep asking more questions. And more and more people are getting open to this, as you guys know, because people are starting to see things all over the place. More Bigfoot sightings, more UFO sightings. My gosh, people that never used to believe in this stuff have to. We're being forced to believe in it. And so that's why I think it's kind of becoming more popular as far as the type of gallery readings I do. People are fascinated by that stuff. They want to learn. They want to understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I think, I would like to do that sometime, be able to go to a museum or something
Oh,
and
yeah.
have a psychic there or something and them talking about the objects and what they feel and stuff like that. That'd be pretty freaking
It
cool.
would. When we went to I don't think that Lori went in the museum down there we're touching toes.
We're toesies.
I don't think Lori went into the museum that had the guns and stuff when we went to
Yep,
the Chattanooga
to the
Chickamauga
Chickamauga.
Battleground,
Yeah.
but they had a lot of old things in there. A lot of
Yeah, that was an interesting place, guys. That I would love to have spent like a whole weekend there. Did you guys ever do an investigation there?
No, we have not yet.
Okay.
not yet. We're trying to get David on a regular schedule.
I'm trying to get a real job.
Okay, that's right. Yeah. Well, it's coming.
Nothing has panned out yet,
Oh,
and
okay.
I just think the universe is telling me to
Hold on for
hold
something
on.
better.
I was gonna say,
Coming.
I
Something's
don't
coming.
necessarily see you doing a job. If you have to, I think it's gonna be pretty temporary.
Yeah,
No, that's good.
yeah, yeah. Chickamauga was fun though. I got a
Yeah.
lot of crazy stuff that happened to me there.
You got an
Seeing,
attachment, David. Remember, there's a Native
yeah,
American soldier I saw with you.
yeah. It was nuts. I felt it. Woo, that place was heavy.
Yeah.
But it was fun. I have a question for you. Have they ever thought about, uh, when you do these talks and stuff at this place and stuff about having it online too, where people can,
Well, yeah,
you
Tom
know?
had actually like when I did the Q Ranch thing, and when I the very first thing I worked on with him was the project where I read the antique gun, and we had a professional videographer and his museum, and then I did the reading. I think it was like 20 minutes, something like that. And it was pretty interesting what I came up with. It was unbelievable. One of the people that owned the gun was a woman. But yeah, he filmed that. And part of it's been like the introductory or overview was kind of published on YouTube. And that's the Bullion Plaza Cultural Center. So
Mhm.
if you go on their YouTube site, it should be the introduction to it should be there. The whole thing is not on there yet, but that's what he's been aiming to do. And then I filmed at the Q Ranch also, and they're still editing that and everything, so that'll be put on YouTube as well.
What was the name of it again?
Bullion, so it's Bullion Plaza Cultural Center, and it's Miami, Arizona.
Okay.
Jason's trying to look it up.
Yeah, you should be able to find it. If you just Bullion Plaza maybe might do it too.
All right.
Jason's.
Oh yeah.
He's got a lot of good videos on there. They have guest speakers each month. I think it's first or second Friday of each month, and there's a lot of good speakers he has. And I think some of those are taped, and he has those on there. He works on a lot of projects, so he might tape himself and things like that. So he's got some very interesting videos on there.
I see the what was their name? Chancelin from that tribe.
Unearthing the
Yeah,
supernatural. You're talking about
unearthing the
Unearthing. Oh
supernatural.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
no longer together.
No,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
just Chancelin now, I think, telling his stuff.
Yeah.
So is
Very
it
cool.
a episode on here of you doing the reading?
There should be. I don't think it was posted too long ago. I think it was a couple months ago. Because I moved to Payson like 4 or 5 months ago, and it was after
Mhm.
that. So I think it was like a couple months ago where he posted it. So you kinda might have to scroll through. I've gotta go on there and look.
That's cool. We'll find it.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
It was like
Yeah.
I think it was a
Oh,
total
fuck.
half hour or because Tom did a history reading of the actual history of the gun, and then I just did a reading on what I picked up, so it was a combination of actual history versus psychic history, and I had started picking up on stuff on the gun when I was at home and even before I saw the gun in person, and then when I did the actual video, when I was actually filmed, I started picking up on even more stuff, and so that's what made it even more interesting. There's a woman that actually owned the gun.
Hmm.
And her husband bought it for her, that was probably one of the most interesting things I picked up on about it. She's very beautiful, and she's like, "Yeah, it's people need to." That's one of the messages I want you to tell people is, women in the Wild West or in the Western days, 17, 1800s, were not all dainty women. Some of us were more like tomboys. We loved to go out there and shoot guns and do what our men did. Tend to the ranch, that kind of thing. She's like, "Not all of us." She told me that when I was doing the reading,
Hmm.
while I was being taped. She's like, "I want people to know, like how all of these Wild West movies film him being the dainty, know, the dainty wife who pleases their husband and all of that." She's like, "We weren't all like that." She's like, "I was the one that liked to go out and shoot. My husband bought me the gun." And so I thought that was pretty interesting.
You
She
might
was
have been
very
talking. Talking to Calamity Jane.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's kind of along the lines of what I think she brought
Yeah.
that up too. Yeah. And Calamity Jane wasn't the only one, but that's what
Mm.
she was trying to say is that she was kind of along that line as well. And there were a lot of women that were like that.
So,
cool.
where can they find your books, Lori?
Amazon.com. Um, Written Dreams has they have their own bookstore, so that's Visions of Time. The first three books are pretty much Amazon. There's some bookstores that have them. My friend Irma here in Payson has some copies, and I haven't gotten them into a lot of other bookstores just because of focus on other things. And then some stores just don't necessarily sell them because that's not their primary what they're selling. Um, but Amazon.com is the best bet. Or if you live local to Arizona, I've told people if I do readings, some people will want to buy my books at the same time, and then I can sit there and autograph it for you. So sometimes I'm willing to travel to people to get them the books if it's within a reasonable distance. But Amazon's the quickest because then you can get it Kindle or you can get the print version.
Sounds good.
That's awesome.
Well, we've come to the end of the show. We want to thank you for being on, and we'll have you back on soon. I hope.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you guys having me on again. It was fun.
And
Yeah, this has been a great show.
Jason will send you the link, or you could always go to our website too, and click on the link because next Saturday,
Yeah.
this show right here, the first hour of this show right here will actually play. So
Oh, okay.
on WDJY
Okay.
FM, you'll be live.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome. Okay. Thanks, Sherry. Nice talking to you. Thank you for the photos. Those were awesome.
Yeah, those were great photos. That was nice. Topic to stop and talk about for a minute.
All right, Lori. Well, we're gonna let you go, and I'll send you that link as soon as I post it up.
Okay, thanks, guys. Stay warm up there in Tennessee.
Yeah,
It's kind of warm right now.
It's gotten warm.
Oh,
We're in the
really?
50s and
Oh,
60s again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we
okay.
had
Yeah,
a big
we're.
blizzard last week, shut down everything.
Oh, wow. I was wondering about that. Okay.
Yeah, we got 8 to 12 inches.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, that's rare here, but we got it.
Okay, I was wondering. I had a feeling you guys were getting some snow. We get rain and snow here, but not like what you guys get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually we get it and 2 days later it's gone.
Then it
Oh,
comes
okay.
a,
All right.
comes a
Okay.
flood
Yeah.
this week. Next week it'll be tornadoes.
A bit of drought and then back to raining again now.
My yard right now, from the snow and all the rain we've had this past week, it's just like a pond.
Oh, wow. It's so beautiful up there in your area, though, the hills and the green. And well, it's not so green now, I'm sure, but it's beautiful up there.
My yard's come to life. It's green.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah, it's green. It doesn't know what time of the year it is.
What do you do with your chickens when it gets cold? Do they have heated?
No.
Man, them chickens live better than I do, David. They got automatic doors,
Okay.
automatic feeders,
and heated feeders and heated
heaters.
water.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they've got heated waters and heated food bowls but you don't do a lot with chickens when it's cold out.
Okay.
'Cause for them when they get in the coop, it's all about making sure that there's no drafts. That's what'll kill chicken is drafts coming through. So you don't want no
Oh.
drafts, but yeah, they get winter feathers in and they're actually like any bird you see still, flying around out here in the wintertime, they're definitely able to handle it. But drafts will definitely kill them. So you just need to not have a drafty place. But then in the summertime, you need it to be drafty. So it's
Oh,
got to have the
wow.
ability to be drafty, but only in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have a lot of patience, that's for sure.
My, we love eggs.
I think they just love the chickens.
Yeah, my wife
That one
does. Crisscross. Yeah,
Yeah.
with the cross beat.
Oh, that's he's like a little teddy bear the way he follows people around.
Yes. Yes. That's my wife's favorite chicken.
Now she's got a rabbit.
Yes. And she loves him too.
Oh,
And
wow.
he's getting where you can pet him really good.
Yeah. It was in the house for a while.
Yeah.
All right, Lori. We're going to let you go again.
Okay, thanks. Thanks to everybody that's listening and participated. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks everybody. And thank you, Lori. And we definitely want to have you on again sometime soon.
Yeah, and for your listeners, if you guys want to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of me through Facebook, message me, or contact David and Jason, and for readings or anything like that.
All right.
Awesome.
All right. Thanks, Lori.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.
You too.
All right.
right.
Lori Hines.
That was a great show.
It was.
That was
It
fun.
great.
I want to thank everybody that showed up tonight. Just like Lori just said.
Hey, if you're going to watch this as a rerun and you've not seen the live and it's on YouTube, you can call that number and leave us a message and we can
Yes.
we can put it back on the air what your message was. And
Yep.
so
Yep. So that number does, like Jason said, that number does allow you to leave us messages and everything like that.
yes.
So
Tell us your story.
oh man, we love stories. And then tell us also if you don't want us to mention your name or anything like that during it. That'll be fine too. So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. See if I can find some music to get out of here with. My favorite music.
Yeah. Here we go.
Here we go. Oh, that ain't it.
That ain't it. Nope, that's something else.
Where'd it go?
That one. That one.
Oh, there we go.
No.
There we go. So we see you next week. David
Yes.
will be home again. We'll be doing another live show.
Yes, we're going to try to get us another guest.
We will have a guest like Lori Hines tonight.
Absolutely.
And-
Right.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, remember, you can find our book on Amazon,
Yes.
East Tennessee Hauntings and Lore. Great little coffee table book. And we will be coming out with version 2 of this, which will be a much bigger, thicker book. And this book will go away. So get it now while you can. And also, if you're looking to find us, you can do it on paranormal411.org, Paranormal 411 on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Used to be Twitter. And we're also on Saturdays at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, WDJY-FM. That's here in just a few minutes. You could go to WDJYFM.com and listen to us, or you go to paranormal411.org and listen to us. There's a little icon there you click on. And tonight's a really good show.
Yes.
Too. So definitely listen to that and join us.
Join us.
Join us.
Have a good night. Oh, remember, you can also listen on Subspace Radio.
Subspace Radio, yes.
We're going to get that wrote down.
Yeah, I've got to get that on here.
Subspaceradio.com.
And also,
7 to 9.
we're going to be at 2 Bigfoot conferences this year
Yes.
so far. So stay tuned for that one, because one of them is going to be on May the 4th. May the 4th be with you.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to be doing a live show during that. So it's going to be fun. Everybody definitely tune in for the live show. So sounds like some Art Bell music. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
That's why Jason liked
I
it.
like it, because it sounds something similar to Art Bell. Not exactly the same, but I really like this music.
Yeah, it's good.
All right. We'll see y'all next week.
Everybody have a good night.